All right, we are going to go ahead and start the Q&A. So Yost Modding is somewhere in the crowd. There he is. He has a microphone. Yeah, I should. He's going to use his new flashlight mod, the speed of light, to get around and answer your questions. So that's what he's going to do for you. But if you have a question, he's going to be the one you're going to want to wave down. We'll select someone. One of us will pick out someone, and he'll go over to you, and you can say your question into the mic. But yes, so up here, we have DjGoHam, Virtual Farmer, MrSealyP, the one and only OmaTana, Farmer Cop. How much did you pay him? We have the one and only FarmSim Guy. And last but certainly not least, we have the Average Viking. And not so average is he. All right. If you have a question for us, go for it. And there's yeah, well, that's the only question we got so far. MrSealyP.
MrSealyP. I've been asked to ask you if you have ever driven a case quad track.
What was it? Oh, I have, yes.
You have?
Yes,
I wasn't asking you. I was asking MrSealyP.
I think I did it a couple of months ago, maybe.
Yeah, I think you did. Did I? I think I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I might have mentioned it. Have I? Yeah. Thanks, MrSealyP. It was for me, was it? Yeah, I did. Yeah.
It wasn't really a let's make everybody feel bad. It didn't drive one.
A very short Q&A if no one has a question at all.
And it.
Sorry, I'll yell louder. All right.
On my way.
Right here.
Keep it up.
It's one for FSG.
I'll be back.
Do you like potatoes?
Do I like potatoes? No comment. So the backstory to this is my very caring and considerate admins are planning something for my 100k subscribers, and yeah, I don't trust them anymore. I'm going to fire them all at 99,998.
Did you ever trust us?
No.
Question right here.
What would be your favourite tractor?
Always a good question.
Always a good question. Right. Well, my favorite tractor is modded or not is going to be a Fendt 1050.
Shout out to Ross N Modding. Gotta love the quad. Did I say quad track? Fast track.
For me, it'd be also a Fendt. The twin track, I think it's the best for field work. A lot of guys don't get on with it, but I always have. So yeah, I love that for field work.
The new Valtra S.
You guys, anything?
The big one.
We had so many questions last year.
I personally prefer the old school stuff, the small stuff. If people watch my channel a lot, a little Massey 135, something like that. That's kind of I love that kind of thing. So yeah. Or a case quad track. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'm going old school as well. David Brown, 1210. Absolutely.
Hurleman H488. Yeah, the toothpaste tractor. Come on. Next question. Oh, yes.
What mod would you like to see most in 25, and would you like to see it altered in any way from 22 or 19?
Easy dev. I mean, come on. and the only thing I want modified is for Marcel to hurry up and have it now.
Manual attach still isn't in FS25, so yeah, would love to see that. Nothing really I'd change on it though.
For me, I don't know, because baling's changed on FS25 a little bit for contracts, but the quick bale mod, was it Mark Thor? Yeah. Mark Thor, love that, and I wouldn't have anything changed. I love that mod, it's brilliant.
And I'd like pellet autoload and wood autoload for consoles.
I think, and I know this doesn't necessarily go to how I normally play, but I would love to have the Lizard Colossus pack. I'm excited for that. I don't want to change anything about it. I think it's perfect.
The original seasons from FS19.
Wow, how'd you follow on from that? But yeah, a lot of our guys have been saying the same, and I'll go back there. Easy, Dev. This came out last time on the panel about favourite mods and stuff. Getting that back in would help a lot of us, no end. So that would be for me.
Don't worry about it. Hey, bud. You got something? Next question, anybody? I feel like John Travolta. Like, it's not fast enough. It's a black one, not the red one.
What things don't you miss in any FS game? Like mods, maybe. Let's make it mods like.
It's a great question, but
DJ is speechless.
I'm gonna. It's a great question, but I can't think of anything I've hated that much that's stuck in my mind. Still use it. So no, I don't think I've got anything for me that I hated that much. So no, I'm sat on the fence for this one. You can have that. No, absolutely.
Seasons since FS19.
I don't know. It's just my default. I don't know. What do I? I don't know. Like there's nothing out there that I'm like, boy, I really don't like that. So, yeah, maybe actually I got one. The Farm Production Pack, not yours. The DLC by Dutch Modding.
Yeah, and I don't know what I would like to miss. I have no idea.
No, I'm the same. Stumped. For the first time in my entire channel, I've got nothing to say. How weird is that? I know.
FS11's bale physics I'm so pleased that the bale physics and the pallet physics is better than it was back then.
I still don't know. I still don't think I have an answer. I mean, yeah, the productions, that thing, that wasn't fun. That was rough.
Have I broken all of you?
Do what?
Have I broken all of you?
It was a good question. It was a really good question. Yeah, no, I mean, the more the merrier. I miss a lot of stuff, but I don't miss not much. Nothing stands out. It's tough. Such a good question. Yeah. Can we move on? Yeah.
And I've got the next question.
Okay. You already went.
No, but going back to the previous question, what do you hate?
You stumped me as well now. I was the same. The farm production pack thing, that didn't really, we already had everything, so why? Yeah, it was broken to start. Yeah, and it's broken, yeah.
And for me, ground deformation, because doing mowing with ground deformation is impossible.
Next question.
Anyone?
Also, big shouty outy to Kermit right here. He's all of our partner manager. He works at Giant Software. You want to say anything to anybody?
No. This is awesome. Thanks everyone for coming out, and Farmer Cop and all the people that helped him for organizing this. But the Giant staff are now leaving, so we've got to be up early to work the booth tomorrow. So
we'll be there too. We just won't feel good. Yeah, I saw the entire Giant Software staff like waving to me like, yeah, we're getting ready to leave. Like, oh, tomorrow's going to be rough. All right, next question. Did we have one? Did I miss it?
In front of you.
In front of me, okay.
If you had to choose one YouTuber that you would say was your favourite, who would it be and why?
They answered it all. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Does it have to be a FarmSim YouTuber?
Yes.
Yeah. So not Linus Tech Tips. Got it. I don't know if you know, I buy like everything they make. The shirts, the book bag. I'm a fanboy. It's rough. It's rough. It's worse than Legos. It's got to be MrSealyP, right? Yeah, I said it on purpose. It's got to be MrSealyP. I wouldn't be here without him and the things that he does and did and will continue to do. And there'll be plenty more people that won't be starting to do this and starting to do YouTube content creation without your guidance and without the guidance from the people who you have convinced. So it has to be you. There is no other answer.
Wow, thank you. You haven't got to say me, don't worry.
No, do you know what? I am actually going to second it.
Really?
Because although you started after me, I have had the great honour of calling you a friend for a very long time. I've travelled all over Europe with you. You have been just a top bloke doing all that.
Thank you.
And so, yeah, MrSealyP, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I'm brilliant. Yeah. Me. Actually, no. I have to say that there's a new and up and coming YouTuber that I'm really impressed with. Is Scruff still here as well? Anyway, yeah. Scruff to one. I absolutely love his content. Love what he does. He's awesome. Watching what he does is like watching a soap opera, a TV series, every single episode, and it blows my mind. But there's another person, and that's MrSealyP. She's been doing more content with me, and honestly, I have so much fun doing stuff with her when we're doing the channel stuff and we're doing the content. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
Yeah, MrSealyP.
Yeah, I mean, I also, like the same, I mean, I share the sentiment with DJ. I don't need to say it again. Like, I wouldn't be here without MrSealyP. He was the first YouTuber I watched. He's still my favorite one. But I will also say, just to change it up a little bit, I have a very close second, and that would actually be, I love watching Gamer Granny Tana, which is OmaTana's English channel. I watch more content on that than any other channel right now, actually. Yeah, I think that Gamer Granny Tana does a fantastic job. It's just very chill content, and it's just lovely to watch. I like to have it on while I'm doing my work on my YouTube channel and doing stuff like that. So, absolutely fantastic. And also, too, I want to clarify, just to talk to Scroft here for a second, not trying to call him out, but we did invite him to be up here with us today. I just wanted you to know that 2 years in a row, and we made sure that he knew that he did have a place on here, and if he said he didn't want to, that's totally okay. I understand that, but I wanted to be clear that we did invite him up here, and we do love what he does, and he does fantastic work. So we wanted to make that clear as well.
So I could say MrSealyP, but I won't. But he knows I love him. But he's standing at the back here, he's going to be dying a little bit. But if you want to work out the secret sauce for how to run a YouTube channel, it's what Scruff does. Because we all have access to the same stuff, we all play the same game and the same mods and all of that. But the imagination and the genius in the stories and what he comes up with is second to none. And it's been a pleasure watching him. He really took off at the start of 22, and just that trajectory is keeping on going. And now with Beanie getting stuck into it as well, they're a powered duo, and they're going places in the next few years. You watch that channel just fly. So yeah.
For me, I said last year, MrSealyP was the reason I started doing what I do. And I still stand by that very firmly. But I will also say, and it's mirroring every comment here, last year I fanboyed over MrSealyP. I got a hug and we got to have a conversation and everything. And every time I've been near Scroft, and I know, because I get it from this side, that we generally hate this kind of thing, mate, but what you do, and this is to coin your exact phrase from last year, is you don't make videos, mate, you make movies. What you do is absolutely incredible.
Another question? From King George.
Without mods, of course, what's your favourite go-to crop to grow and harvest? And also, what's your least favourite go-to crop to grow and harvest?
I love grass work. Any kind of grass work. Mowing, tedding, windrowing, whatever needs to be done, grass work is absolutely amazing, but it's because I like my cattle farming. What do I hate? Most root crops. I'm not going to narrow it down because I have a feeling that's coming, but yeah, most root crops.
Yeah, grass work for me as well. Probably silage, massive silage, multiplayer silage contract. Brilliant. Best thing ever. And potatoes.
I think for my favorite crop, I think in FS22 it was probably like soybeans. I did a lot of soybeans because they're easy and made a lot of money. But now I think I've kind of turned over to barley, which I know is just very boring. I'm very boring when it comes to what I did. I don't know why people watch me. I just harvest barley probably all day. But least favorite crop is sugarcane by far, by a mile. I got bullied by some subscribers to do a very large field of sugarcane, which I think took. It's just ridiculous. It took many a stream, but yes.
Yeah, so it's funny. I like to do barley because it's so easy, but mainly I do grass, always grass. And I hate carrots and such to harvest. And that's why my upcoming gardens will have carrots growing easily without all the hassle.
I think I have to mirror the grasswork stuff because I love doing baling and all that kind of thing. But I don't mind doing oat crops. I like doing an oat crop because there's the various different mods that allow you to transfer those oats and make them into seed, which you can use again for various different crops. It gives you a better production value for doing the oats. As far as crops I don't like, I know it's technically not a crop, and I think I said it last year, weeds. They grow, they're horrible. You can't really harvest them, but they drive me insane. They really do.
For me, it's any type of grain crop. Anything that gets me behind the wheel of a combine harvester, I am in absolute heaven. And so, yeah, and wheat, barley, canola, any of those. From crops I hate, vegetables. Anybody who saw my stream on Sunday, where I just got sabotaged and spent 4.5 hours trying to do a field of bloody carrots, and still failed. No huge fan of vegetables. Not good harvester in the game for them, really.
That's fair. Yeah, I'll mirror that sentiment. I'll just tell you my least favorite first is all the root crops, all the premium crops from FS22, anything like that that's small working with and slow and boring and no capacity. Yeah, ugh, get it out of the way. And then oats and grass, like them equally. Probably if you watch my videos, be like, oh, oat and grass again, cool, awesome. But I absolutely love it.
Anybody?
It's boring, but I love it. Another question. Yos, who you got it for us?
Nobody wants to?
He looks like he's waiting to give someone the microphone, not to ask for it.
It burns.
All right. What's the first farm sim that you started on?
FarmSim 15 for me. I got it for free on Xbox Game Pass, and I didn't stay on Xbox for very long, but that was my first.
FS15. I got it on a deal on Amazon Prime and just went and played and enjoyed it.
Yeah, FS15. It came out on console. My daughter asked for it, and I laughed. CLEG, and then I bought it, and this is where I am now. So I can't thank her enough for that. That was awesome. Yeah.
FS17.
FS13 for me. I got it allegedly when I was a kid. Allegedly.
I'm actually FarmSim 11 on an Apple Mac, so does that count? Probably not. Yeah, I started on FS11 way back when. Let's show my age now.
I feel like such a noob. FarmSim 19 came out on PlayStation Plus, and I followed the tutorial, baled the straw, spent 3 hours trying to load a bale trailer, pressed the wrong button, the oil ejected anywhere, and I put that game down for about 5 months. And no. But yeah, now we are standing here in front of you amazing people, and obviously I picked the game back up.
You did. Where? Back? All right. I need to get used to it. I don't know why he's not holding one of his flashlights. Speed up the process a little bit.
Out of all the maps that's been through from all the FS games, which one would you like to see remastered and put into this year's?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. I want my vintage oaks back. We run community-based gaming over on my channel. We are very heavily evolved around the community, and a 1 to 4 times map back with not massive fields and UK base would be lovely. So for me, that ticks a lot of boxes. So that would be my choice.
I grew up on a farm with 1990s Ford tractors. So any of the TW series, 15, 25, 35, 7610, 7810, there was loads and loads of variants of them, but they were all a little bit hashed together. I would love to see a beautifully polished version of that suite of tractors. It'd be amazing.
The question was map. Yeah.
And I would like to drive those tractors on. I hadn't finished. Jeez, people. Oakfield Farm from FS19. Absolutely loved that map. Absolutely brilliant.
Good work. You caught up. That's good.
Nobody noticed.
As soon as you started talking, I was like, okay, I wonder where this has gone. But for me, I think it's like I would want to say like No Man's Land or something like that, because No Man's Land was such a big deal for me, and I probably spent more hours on that map than anything else. But I think I'm actually going to say Griffin, Indiana, because for me, like, I mean, I didn't grow up on a farm or anything like that, but like being around farms, if I was around them when I was growing up, like that kind of small, kind of idyllic, like little American town and stuff like that, like kind of really brings me back to like driving through the Midwest and stuff as a kid and seeing like farms. And so that map, I loved playing on it, and I would love to see that one back and maybe do a series on it, because that map is just absolutely fantastic.
And I'd like the old stream farm back, because I'm still not done with it. I started it 2 times, not enough time, and I want to play for a while on it. MrSealyP.
I was going to say one, but I think it's the one he's going to say. Colborough Park Farm, because it was that one map that I said a while ago, I feel I missed the boat on. It was the one map I didn't do a Let's Play on, and it's the one I always regret not doing a Let's Play on. So I'd love to see, I know it's not going to happen, but Colborough Park Farm was a phenomenal map, liked it. But as far as ones that I played on recently, Six Ashes, I think I said it last year, Six Ashes by GB Modding, I adored that map. I can't explain why, but I just loved it.
I'm going to second both of those maps. Colborough Park Farm is the map I did the first realism experiment on, and it holds a special place. I've got to walk around that farm. It is amazing, and I would love to see that back. Not going to happen, and I know intellectually that's not going to happen. Six Ashes, that could happen, and I would love GB to bring that back. And having played so many episodes on it, I found a place in the middle of the map where I'd go and build a farm and play it completely differently. So yeah, I would love to see that map again, because that is awesome.
Just get a little late, I'm yawning. So I've got 2. Number 1 would be Lone Oak, hands down. I want it, but I also know that it's not happening. I've heard from Bullet Bill and Oxy, like, yeah, get over it. It's not happening. But Oakfield as well, but the FarmSim 17 version of it, just because it's, I don't know, a little bit more nostalgic, because that was one of the first games that I played. So there you go.
So, next question.
Did a third time?
Third time, yeah. So back to maps. How many of you have started your own map, and when are they likely to appear?
It's getting personal.
So yes, I've started my own map. I have. I'm doing it with Reaver, wherever he's gone, in the middle, there he is. So I started it. He's been taking it on, and the two of us are going to work on it together. It's called Foxborough Farm. It's called Elmham Farms. It's based on my dad's farm, which is Foxborough Farm, and yeah, hopefully it'll get released at some point. But it's slow old going. 25.
Yeah, I started quite a lot of maps, and most of them I didn't have the time to finish them, because I've spent so much time working on mods, and therefore I'm very slow with maps. And in FS22 I worked on my map Wunzig, a small German map, through the whole time, and it grew bigger and bigger with all the functions and wishes and ideas. And then I said, no chance. And now I'm doing a simplified version of it, and I hope I can finish it in FS25. It will be called Sommerfeld. A simple, nice map.
Are you making a map?
I have started a map. My dad, as some of you know if you watch my channel, my dad went to the US in the 70s. And as a kid, I grew up on farms in the Midwest in the 70s, because that's where he took us for holidays, which was good of him. But in hindsight, that's another reason why I kind of do a lot of American stuff on the channel. But yeah, I have a southern Minnesota map. The DEM is built, and it is being laid out at the moment. It dried up for about 12 months, but I want to get back to it. I almost see hitting the 100,000 sub mark as a point in time where maybe I'll switch some of my time to doing the map, but we'll see. No launch date. No potatoes. Or launch date.
What's been your favourite thing about FarmSim 25 so far?
I think maybe a few people will say this. GPS. GPS as standard, I think, has been a huge step forward to console, and it's not terrible on PC either. It does the job perfectly well. So that for me has been the biggest leap forward we've done. So yeah, GPS for me.
I'm going to say today, and this, and tomorrow, and this weekend, and the fact that we started last year and nobody knew how it was going to go, and we've got our own event this year. We're going to do it again next year. It's going to be bigger next year. This is for me what the whole game is all about. Not just the playing of the game, but the kind of this. This is brilliant. Yeah.
I'm going to choose a feature in the game. No, I'm just kidding. I do share that sentiment, but I was giving him crap anyways, and I still will. But we all get along up here. We have a good time doing stuff like this. I think for me, I really like the business management aspect of the game. That was one of the things that really drew me into it, in addition to like having a fascination with farming itself. So I think for me, the biggest new feature is the new AI workers. So they can do the work. I mean, I'd hire an Uber to go from here to that end of the room if I could. So if I can hire an AI worker to do the field, that's great. So yeah, that's AI workers for me.
Yeah, I also really like the better AI helpers. But what opens up my heart are the baby animals. They are so cute when they jump around, and I can't get enough of them.
I think for me, I've been talking to a lot of people today about various different aspects. Everyone that's come up to me has said, how are you liking FS25? And I've said all different sorts of things. I'll be honest, it's the total ambience of the whole thing. The sound effects and what Giants have done. And you won't notice, I only noticed today when I went over to play on one of the consoles and I grabbed the controller and there was no sound. And my brain suddenly went, this doesn't make sense. I can't, my head couldn't get around it, there was no sound. When you play on FS25, you go home and you put it on and you listen to the sound effects. When you go from road to gravel, when you're driving across, whatever you're driving across, the sounds, the tractors, the vehicles, the 9S, you only notice when the sounds are taken away. And then your brain says, this doesn't feel right. So the immersion that all brings, and you only notice when it's not there. So when you go home, put it on, play it, and pay real close attention to all those little things, because combined, I think it just makes it. It really does.
For me, it's not one particular feature in FS25. It's I had a wish list going into FS25. I had about 10 items that I thought, if I got 4 of these, I'd be happy. And I got 8 or 9 of them. And it was the animal husbandries and new crops that you could actually play early in the game, and the ground deformation and the GPS and the hired worker. And all of this sort of came together to make this massive leap forward. And to me, FS25 does feel like a massive leap forward from 22. And I get people coming in streams and going, oh, it's the same thing that happens every time. You know, it's FS22 with shaders. And it really isn't. It is just such a big leap forward. So yeah, it's just the sort of general big improvement in the game is the thing that I really love about it.
And I'm going to mirror that as well. It's the things that you can't touch FarmSim 25, at least to me, and I think you guys as well, it feels like a completely different game than FarmSim 22 was. FS 22 was awesome. We all loved it. Most of us, I guess, anyway, hopefully. And FS 25, it's like a completely different game. It's totally unique. It's in its own little bubble, but somehow you still know exactly how to play. You know how everything works. So it's the little things, the air to the game, the way it sounds, the way it looks, everything about it. Not just one feature here or there. It's just how different and new, but still familiar it is. Yes.
Alarm.
Out of all of the FarmSim games, what's been the funniest bug or moment you've ever had?
I don't know if any of the ones I remember were funny. I don't know if I had to. I know in Farming Simulator 25, my header gets stuck all the time, and the combine starts to rear up with the header stuck into the ground. I don't really know. That's a really good question. Maybe when mods don't work exactly the way they're supposed to, or when you've got a mod where you increase the horsepower, or maybe one of like 82 Studios trucks or something, when you accidentally just hit the wrong little bump in the road, and it goes, and then the screen goes black, and it goes, and then it's gone. And then you go 1,000,000 miles an hour, and the game crashes. So that's, at least for me, that happens a lot.
The favourite one for me was I went back and I played all the previous Farm Sims just before FS22 came out. And I'm playing FS08 and I'm going, how far can I get across the bridge? And you can drive off it. And you fall into the abyss endlessly. And it was in the days when there just wasn't an edge to the map. And so, you just drive off the edge. And it was brilliant.
I think for me, we were talking about this, I think it was earlier or yesterday, and we were saying about mods and prepping for mod reviews and map tours. And you do all the prep, and you get everything ready. I think it might be UFSG. You get everything ready, all prepped, you test everything, you say, right, I'm ready to hit record. You hit record, and that's when everything goes wrong. Every single time. And it was the Straw Harvest add-on, and I was using the baler with that triple bale thing on the back of it. Started recording, I'd done all my prep, all my testing, works fine. And this thing just catapulted off into the stratosphere, bales everywhere. And someone said to me, why don't you leave your bloopers in? I was swearing a lot when it did that. So I could not leave that in, but it does it every single time. Every single time you go to show a mod, it goes wrong, without fail.
For me, it was in FS19, and I played on Estancia La Pacho, and I wanted to take a shortcut, and I took the train, the railway, with my tractor. And there is an area where it has a huge bridge, and it's very high above everything. And then I was driving, and suddenly I heard the train coming behind me, and I was just on this bridge, and I couldn't go to the side. And then the train catched me, and it threw me all over the map, and it was hilarious. It made it to the video because it was so funny.
This is a tough one. I feel like half my content is me messing up stuff and things going flying across maps and things like that. But I think my favorite one was getting ready to go to FarmCon. I had flew out to visit DJ, and we were hanging out just doing pre-recording for a week before I went to FarmCon to make sure we had content to upload and stuff like that while we were traveling. And I was just doing some off-camera work in the evening, and I was doing stuff on my No Man's Land series, and I tried to transport using Easy Dev Tools my tractor across the map, and it glitched out, and it launched into space, and it jumped up to like 60,000 miles per hour. And I thought so I hit record, and then DJ's in the background, and we're both just giggling, dying laughing, and then it gets worse because all of a sudden it catapults, and now it's going like 300 some odd thousand miles per hour, and we lost it. And you can find all of this on my channel. It's probably my favorite.
Most viewed short, I think.
Yeah, probably is. I mean, any one of my shorts is just a bunch of mistakes that I made. So, but I think that's one of my favorites, just because all the timing of it. It wasn't maybe the funniest thing that's happened, because we couldn't see the tractor anymore. I mean, it was on its way to Mars at that point. But just seeing the speedometer keep jumping up, we were just dying laughing. And so I think just because DJ was there and we were both having fun and laughing, I think that's my favorite one.
There's a few. The one that sticks in my mind is practicing for Logging League with Argsy Gaming, and the train knocking a load of logs sideways as it came past, and it's sitting right next to the train, and we were like, oh, phew, we just got away with that. And then he hit the straps, and it attached to the train, and basically bungee jumped the truck right across the map about 10 times. It was brilliant. Same as you two, just like floods of tears of laughter. It was brilliant.
FS22 Hawk Baler on. When I, in my infancy, was just trying out multiplayer, and a friend of mine came onto the map, and we still had crop destruction on the server, and they lagged and disappeared across 3 fields. And for the next 6 months in the game, I was looking at these tyre tracks going across these fields. At the time, it literally looked like somebody had gone back to the future. So, and they never came back on the community server, and there has never been crop destruction on a server since then. So.
This is more of like a would you all have a multiplayer community, like a multiplayer with all you together?
Yeah, absolutely. There's nobody here that I wouldn't love to play FarmSim with, so...
When?
100%. Yesterday.
Yeah, when we get a good map.
I don't know if I want to play a DJ. Yep, so it checks out. I would love to play with VF again. I beat him in our last challenge by a lot, so I'd love to do that again.
Yeah, I played with them sometime, and it was nice. It was great. My first multiplayer experience at all.
I would say yes with these guys in an absolute heartbeat. I have done it before, because a certain person on this panel had had a couple of wobble pops one night when his channel was quite young. And he messaged me and said, do you want to join us on a multiplayer game? So I said, yeah, of course. He didn't think I was going to say yes. So I came on and played. And I'm not going to lie, I was traumatized for weeks. I had never experienced anything like it in my life. I think the stream ended with telehandler catapulting, which I had never done. Yeah, Trebuchet Olympic. And honestly, that was my introduction to DJ and his insanity. So, yeah. And we've been friends ever since. It's been great, yeah.
Like 300 subscribers or something?
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I have the VOD of that somewhere. Yeah, I think the VOD of that's still up on my channel somewhere. Because I came across the thumbnail for it the other day. So, yeah, in a heartbeat, absolutely. I would love to do multiplayer with any of these guys.
Yeah, I was going to say I have done multiplayer with some of you guys. Used to, I would do every once in a while, I would call it the All-Star stream. And yeah, back in Farming Simulator 17 on Spectacle Island, I was the first and last time that I ever had a couple beers before recording. And I was like, nobody cares, nobody knows. And I called him out in the video. I was like, would it be cool if we had MrSealyP? This would be awesome. And then I ended up talking to him the next day. I'm like, oh my gosh, 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 oh my gosh. And yeah, we had an awesome stream. It was a lot of fun. To answer your question, yes, but I do have a couple more stories, if that's all right, of some of these live streams. Some of them birthday streams or big moments, stuff like that. I remember one of the live streams we did on the horse map in Farming Simulator 19, and I had loaded in some really big combine harvesters that were chrome. And we gave this guy, Mr. Virtual Farmer, a Chrome Combine, an AGCO Ideal. It was basically the Colossus before the Colossus existed ever. Unrealistic speeds. I mean, we were going like 50 miles an hour harvesting. We had, I don't know, 10 of them in a field just rocking and rolling. And you just kept hearing me like, I have a Chrome Combine.
I might have been drinking that.
Yeah. Hey, you weren't streaming, it's fine. And then one of the other things that just it was so funny, it was on Stone Valley. So Lancey Boy Stone Valley, Farming Simulator 19, I believe, if I remember correctly. It was my 100,000 subscriber special. And I had loaded in these crazy mods. Trucker Matsy had sent over some stuff to put in the stream. So it was like all this unrealistic stuff. And then you have 82 Studio, which some of you guys know 82 Studios mods is TLXs and stuff like that. Well, we had somebody modify a little Bobcat skid steer. And somebody, you may remember this, but he was saying a bunch of cuss words, so I can't say them all up here. It was basically just cussing and just screaming and yelling, and then all of a sudden you just see this little orange and white streak go right across. And he was going about 600 or 700 miles an hour all the way across Stone Valley 4X, all the way to this big jump that we had built. And afterwards, I had to cut the VOD. We couldn't put that up there. But yeah, absolutely. But they would have to play my way. And they have before. That's an awesome question.
Out of all the different versions, is there any mods that was your go-to mods?
I guess Easy Dev is too easy now, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't have Easy Dev.
I do like power tools in my presentation to. No, but there's a reason for power tools. Yes, it does some of the same things, but I'd mentioned in my presentation earlier that I use the thumbsticks, which are the same controls that you would use in Grand Theft Auto 5 in the story mode to do like this special power, you know, going really slow if you're Franklin or being invincible if you're Trevor or something like that. And I always said that power tools was my special ability in Farming Simulator. And so I set it to that because I still play with a controller on PC. And it allows me to do all of those things on a controller. So it makes me feel like, man, wouldn't it be cool if I just had this on a console? It just makes you be mad. You're like, come on, just let us do it, Giants. Just let us do it. And make this dude's job a whole lot easier. That's for sure.
It's a tough one, this, because I've been doing a lot of community stuff on crossplay. So not having the script mods and playing as you would on console in order to do that. So I've got a lot less used to relying on script mods and things like that. So I'm actually going to go and say something that FSG said earlier. I want my Ford mods, please. My Ford mods, my David Brown mods, classic tractors. Let me play with the old stuff. Absolutely the mods that I would like to see in FS25.
I think for me, it's the CSZ pack, big bag handler. I use it for everything. I mean, that thing is so versatile. And we always say it when one game series comes to an end, and 22 ended, and we had all the mods, all the stuff, all the bells and whistles, all the stuff to play with, and then 25 comes out, and you go to do your Let's Play and go, oh, I haven't got this, or that, or this, or that. And I'm watching all the PC guys going, yeah, we've got all these scripts, we've got all this cool stuff. And I'm trying to set up mod reviews and map tours and stuff, thinking, this is going to take me hours. So in all honesty, yeah, CSZ pack, big bag handler, I love it. It's a brilliant mod.
And I like to have the Fendt Favorit 800 and 900. So the bigger ones, the vintage version, they were quite affordable and beefy from the horsepower, and I miss them.
I think the easy answer is anything that OmaTana does, but but I mean, I feel like I always use OmaTana's fermenting silo and then your small productions. Those are I always use those two. And like another big one that I'd love to have is the TLX Phoenix to be able to auto load my pallets in it. Love that truck. So I think those are the three mods for me.
I'm going to say the Richard Weston trailer set. I absolutely loved that in 19 and 22, and we found out last week it's not coming to 25, so I'm gutted.
The Cat Challenger. Myself and the guy that I normally farm with a lot were looking for a twin track field vehicle that wasn't massive horsepower. And we came across it completely by accident. And then it was in every single map. It wasn't an amazing mod. It could have been done a lot betterly. Betterly, I'm sure that's the word. But it just worked for what we needed. And yeah, I'd love to have it back again.
So we will do 2 more questions, and then we'll call it good. I know we started a little late, so we'll go a little bit later just for that. If you have to take off, we won't judge you. Don't worry, it's okay.
What tips do you have for someone starting out on YouTube?
I don't do YouTube yet, so I'm probably not the best person to ask. But in terms of somebody starting out in streaming, just be yourself. If you try to be somebody else at some point, it's not going to work. And just make sure what you're doing makes you happy. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, if you're just doing it for the sake of doing it, people don't hang around because they can see you're not enjoying it. So be true to yourself and enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah, totally echo that. You've got to do it for the right reasons, and that's because you enjoy it. And be yourself is a perfect example of that. If you're going to start a channel because you want to make money or you want to be famous or you want to be successful, it won't happen because you're doing it for all the wrong reasons. You've got to do something because it's hard work. You've got to put time and effort in. It's like that old adage: the more effort you put in, the more time you put in, the better the result. So be prepared for hard work, but also be yourself at the same time, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, without harping on it too much, you have to be yourself. If people can tell that you're being fake or you're not being genuine or you're trying to just get views and you just want to grow your channel, people can feel that, and it just doesn't help. There's no obviously guarantee. Our content is, I mean, it's okay for at least me. You guys do good stuff, but I won't brag about myself because I feel like I do okay. But I mean, I can't explain why I have the subscribers that I have or the views that I have. Like for me, I feel like I just got really lucky and I'm very thankful for it. But I just started it as a hobby and enjoyed doing it. But I think if I had done it just to try to grow and make that happen, I think that people would have felt that. And I wouldn't have enjoyed it as much and it wouldn't have been fun for people watching. So I think that's really a big part of it.
Yeah, I would say all what those guys said, and somehow find your personal niche. What are you passionate about? What is your strength? And don't do what everyone is doing, because then you are just drowning in the crowd. And when you find what you are good at and what you really love, then put your energy in it. And you need to have patience.
I think for me, adding on to all of that is perseverance and resilience. You need it in abundance. You just got to keep picking yourself up, keep going, keep trying, because for a lot of people, they think it's a quick fix. People will message me and say, I've started my channel, how do I get to where you are? You can't click your fingers. It's not a simple, instant, bang, 100,000 subscribers. It doesn't work that way. So you've got to keep plugging away, keep going. It's a slow burn to start off with. And like the guys are saying, just have fun doing it. I think we all start out, and because of the way YouTube works and because of the world around us works, you feel yourself trying to fit into a niche that people want, not what you want. So yeah, like they all said, just do you. Enjoy it, have fun. It's not always easy to do. I'll say that. A lot of people have spoken to me today and said, I want to start a channel, what do I do? And I've said to them, just do it. Don't be scared. We had someone asked a question last year, the same thing, and said, why are there not more women doing it? There's no barrier. There's no barrier to stop women doing it. And we said to MrSealyP that there's a few women in the room today that I think are doing it already. Yeah, Loopy Loza at the back there as well. Just do it. if you want to make a video, jump in, do it. Don't be scared. I know it is scary, because the thing about it is, once you've done one and you've posted it, you're out there, you're in the world, and it opens you up. And that's a scary thing, but just keep plugging away.
I think I'd echo a lot of what the others have said. Don't be disheartened without a quick movement. All of us here have streamed to nobody. All of us here have posted videos and had nobody watch them. I have videos from my first year that have under 20 views that people have just never watched. And actually, probably, given that those days. Yeah, I got plenty of those videos. Yeah, but that doesn't mean those videos and those streams aren't useful. All of us here have used those videos and streams to get better at what we do. When I first started out, I didn't edit a second out of any video that I made, and then as I kept going, I learned to edit, and I was using those videos to learn to edit and get that done. And my early streams, I was using those streams to learn how to get my streaming set up right, and how to actually get it so it doesn't lag for half an hour behind the actual stream itself. And all these things, it's a learning experience. And use those early days so that when the viewers do turn up, and you are getting eyeballs on your content, they're seeing the best content you can put out. The other thing I would say, don't be like me. Don't set yourself a stupid schedule of trying to put a video out every single day straight off the bat. Do something that means you get a good balance between looking after yourself and getting enough sleep and all of that, and putting content out, because that will only affect your content and then everything else around you as well.
Yeah, all of that. That's good. And it works. No, I mean, really hitting on some of the things that you've said. There's kind of like an adage where it says your first 100 videos are just going to suck. So just get through it and move on. Sometimes those 100 videos are going to happen over the course of a few years. When we say the first 100 videos, that's assuming one video a day. So like 3 months, 3.5 months, those videos are going to suck. And it's not that they're bad then, but if you compare yourself today, a lot of us have been doing this for 6, 7 years, 8 years, or maybe just a few years. But these things that we're doing today and things that we're doing now, in comparison, we would look at that and say, like, oh, that was so bad, this and that. But you know what? We were able to get through that. We were able to learn from those things, make the mistakes. You know, I'm recording right now. I've got this camera right here, running an audio system through this to the microphone so it doesn't get room noise and everything like that. And the only reason I know how to do that was because I screwed it up 100 times. And I really hope that this works too. So the first 100 videos of the first 3.5 months are going to be rough. They're not going to be great. You're going to have a hard time. You're not going to sleep well. You're going to want to do it all the time. It's going to become an obsession probably. And that's okay. Whether it be a healthy or unhealthy obsession, you're going to be obsessed with it. I still record every single day, Monday through Sunday, every single day I work. This is a job, but also for me, this was a last resort. I went to college, flunked out, didn't do well. I was a DJ. That's where DjGoHam comes from. I was a full-time DJ. But you only can play top 40 music for so long before you're like, man, this sucks. And so if this didn't work out, I have no idea what I would be doing. And there still may become a day where this doesn't work out anymore and I have to go get a real job and do something else. And so prepare, work hard, try and do good. The one thing that I wish that I wouldn't have done was give up my entire life at the time. I was being a club DJ, I worked 6 days a week. So I was already working 8 hours a day, 6 days a week. And on top of that, you add in YouTube. I was working that full time. So then I was doing that 7 days a week, 8-ish hours a day. And granted, I was releasing like, 5 videos a day or something like that. It was ridiculous. But I gave up everything without knowing it. I didn't actively say like, okay, no more friends, no more family hanging out, but it just happened. And then one day I was like, oh man, I've got like 4 friends and they're all up here. Now, would I trade that for the world? Absolutely not, because that's where it got me today. But being prepared for your life to change completely, whether that be good or whether that be bad things. This is a wild ride. It's not for everybody. And recognizing whatever's happening, please do that. Don't let things happen and not recognize. You know, if you're going through something, whether you're not eating or eating too much just so you can get a couple extra videos out, please recognize that. Be healthy. I'm not, but you know. So, please.
And get sleep. Yeah. There is the thing I think probably all of us would say up here is the thing that suffers more than anything else when you go on this journey is sleep. And I cannot stress enough that you need to make sure you get enough of that.
Sorry, I'm not trying to go ahead, but like one thing I thought of that I think is extremely important, and I think that I run into a lot of people that have this issue, and I've run into it at times too. You can't compare your progress to other channels. That's extremely important. That's extremely important because all that's going to do, it's going to make you upset. It's going to make you frustrated. You're going to be like, well, I'm doing my content, I think is great. But if you look at like, you know, compare yourself to another channel, you're not going to be happy. You'll never enjoy it. And it's really going to actually rob you of a lot of success you could have. And especially like there's no other, I'd be willing to say there's no other gaming community on this planet where you can have a bunch of content creators up here of various sizes, all be happy to sit down, have a drink with each other, and give tips and hints and help each other out and shout each other out and support each other. Because I don't feel like I'm competing with DJ or VF or MrSealyP or OmaTana or Average Viking or FarmSim Guy. Like I feel like these are my friends. I've gotten to know them really well. They're all very genuine people, and I'm not competing with them. We're not competing with each other. We do some different stuff, and some stuff we do the same, but all we all want to see up here is for each other to be successful. And so I think that's really important, and that's a big thing that you're not going to see in a lot of gaming communities, but it's very unique to the FarmSim community. Most gaming communities are not going to put together something like this and have a bunch of content creators that actually get along. You know, other games they might come up and put a smile on their faces and pretend to like each other, but we actually do really get along and enjoy seeing each other. I love traveling just because I get to see these guys. So you can't compare yourselves and your success to the other channels around you because it's just, you can't compare it. They're completely different.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, just to add to that, I have seen all these guys go past me in the last 9 years. But it's... but it's not a problem because I know I'm not competing against these guys. My channel grows at the pace that it grows at. And the moment I start comparing myself to any of you, I'm going to go mad. So I don't do it. And yeah, it's not a wise thing to do.
I've got to say we're all just people. We're all just trying our best. You know, to me, this is not Virtual Farmer. This is Alex and Paul and other people's names that I don't know, and some that I won't say. But we're all just people, man. I'm just a dude. You guys are just people. We're just trying our best. It's nice to raise people up around you, celebrate their wins. Sometimes we have losses. It's nice to have friends around for those too. Yes. Are we allowing statements?
I was new to 22. The community, you're all brilliant. Thank you. You keep us going, you know, and we stick together. I know I've had a hard time in the past year, and some of the friends have come in for me and rung me at strange times. Don't be alone. This is a community. You guys are the forefront of it to a certain extent. You're all very, very different, but it is one community. We are all one together. It's not you guys and us, it's everyone.
So I think with that, with the lovely people that have been serving us in the back, let's give them a round of applause as well. Thank you, guys. And I think with that, since we're over time, if you guys want to hang out and talk for a little bit more, you're welcome to do that. But I think we'll wrap up the Q&A there. I can't think of a better note to wrap up on all that stuff. So, again, thank you guys so much for coming. Stay tuned. We will do this again next year of some kind, period. Even if it's this, we'll do something.